Hey y'all, happy Sunday. I don't think I've been live on a Sunday before. So thank you so much if you are joining for this special session to practice with me. To practice some practical, easy ways to help you feel safe again in your body. So many of us find ourselves in unsafe environments, right? And it starts to feel like we can't seek safety anywhere. And that is really the purpose of my work to show us that we can come into our bodies, right, through a practice over time of starting to feel safe at home, regulated within our vessels. And so, thank you so much if you are here again live, if you're watching the replay. Welcome. My name is Marissa Price. I'm a healing practitioner helping Black women heal our nervous systems, come into our full authenticity, reclaim our power after traumatic experiences. And so, yes, thank you so much for being here. Again, this is a special live. I don't think I've been live on a Sunday before, but I will be facilitating a healing circle today at 5 p.m. Eastern called Finding Calm in Chaos that you can still join us. There are a few spots left. So I will link that in the chat if you're interested. But this is really just a space to reset, to breathe, to begin, maybe for the first time, feeling safe within our bodies. So often, our bodies are battlegrounds, right? Within these very toxic systems that we're navigating day in and day out. And how can they instead be a place of refuge, right? A place that we return to, that we find calm in, right? Peace, once we feel that sense of dysregulation out in the world. And so that's the purpose of this today. So thank you so much. Right. So I want to invite you to pause. Know that you don't need to have meditated before or know any special techniques. Right. This is very beginner friendly. This space is for you. If you have been carrying a lot, holding it all together, doing everything for everyone else, or just feeling tension within your body. Sometimes our minds will say, I should be fine, right? We have these things on loop that we repeat to ourselves, but our bodies are still holding what we're experiencing day in and day out. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome. So today we're just going to practice, right? A couple simple ways to let your body know you can exhale now. You can come back home to your vessel, right? And breathe and ground yourself as a practice over time. Just inviting in micro moments of safety, right? We're not looking like for a full transformation in 24 hours, 48 hours. This is a lifetime practice. As you build in these little moments of safety, it's going to start to feel more natural, right? It's going to start to be part of your routine, part of your ritual, to tell yourself and tell your body, right? I'm safe. I can breathe. I can relax. I can rest. But sometimes it is a process to get to that point, right? And know that there's nothing wrong with you. If this still feels so out there, thank you for being here, right? Because that's the first step. Hello, Sade. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Right. And so the first practice we're going to go through is grounding, right? And so grounding can help you feel this sense of being connected to yourself, to the earth, right? When we have all of these experiences that try to disconnect us from how we're feeling, from our bodily sensations. And I do want to say those are very real, right? So, not to gaslight yourself that you're not experiencing these things. So many of us are, we're navigating these systems again, day in and day out, that are trying to dysregulate us. They're trying to disconnect us. They're trying to make us forget, right, our lineage, the tools that exist within us to heal. So that's very real. And also, we have the ability to reawaken these tools within us, right? And so the grounding exercise, let's get started. You can do this wherever you are. So sitting, standing, maybe you're still in bed, right? It is Sunday, so happy Sunday. Start just by noticing So bringing your awareness to your body without judgment, right? Just noticing, just becoming aware of the different sensations that you're experiencing. So often, again, we are disconnected from our bodies, from how we feel, from the signals they're trying to send us all throughout the day. We're taught to ignore them, to suppress them, right? And so part of healing, the first step can just be to bring your awareness to your body. What are you feeling? Are you feeling tension in a certain place? Are you noticing tingling at a certain part? I know my feet tingle a lot. Just by noticing, right? So starting at your feet, what sensations do you feel? Moving up to your calves, how do they feel? Do you feel tightness, heaviness, maybe lightness? Right? Moving up your legs. This is called a body scan. Moving up your legs. What sensations do you feel? Right? To your torso, your womb, your chest, your shoulders, your neck, your head. So many of us who are overthinkers, right? I notice that I get headaches when I'm in that mode of overthinking, of catastrophizing. And so just even noticing the physical sensations that you feel, bringing your awareness to them, right, can help you chart a new path. Notice the surface you're on. How does it feel? Is it supporting you? Notice where your body is touching the surface that you're on. Feel that support. So it could be the floor, the chair, the bed. Just notice that it's holding you. So in the moments where it feels too heavy, right, to carry everything by yourself, notice how the surface you're on is supporting you. It's holding you up. And if it feels okay, taking a breath in through your nose here, exhaling slowly through your mouth. Again, breathing in here, exhaling. Allowing your shoulders to drop. Inviting in any gentle movement that feels good. Letting your jaw unclench. I hold so much stress in my jaw. And it is a practice, right, of me becoming aware. I'm holding tension in my jaw again. Let me let it go. And so just allow your jaw to soften if that's the case for you too. Know that you don't have to perform healing or resting or relaxing. It is just a practice of awareness and gentle changes that you're making, right, day after day. Notice what it feels like to let go, even if just for a few moments during this practice. That counts too. So when we do this kind of practice of grounding, as we just walked through, We're reminding our bodies what safety feels like, right? Sometimes we may not have ever experienced this before, this sensation, so it can feel scary. It's not about doing it right, about doing it perfect, right? Perfect does not exist. Allow that to release. But it's just about giving yourself permission to become aware, to breathe, to invite in movement as it feels good, and becoming more attuned to your body signals. Again, this is a process over time, right? A lot of us, myself included, have been disconnected from our bodies as a survival response. And so it's going to feel a little uncomfortable when you start to come into your body again, right? To notice the signals that it's trying to give you. It may be the first time that you've ever done this. And so, grace, self compassion, being gentle with yourself, all of those things are in order. Okay, and so that ends our first practice, grounding/body scan, right? And so this is a simple practice to help you feel safe in your body. And again, this is not an overnight thing. This is a practice that you're implementing into your life as you become aware, right? That you're starting maybe to spiral, right? Having anxiety, having some of these physical sensations that we feel within these stressful environments. Knowing that you have the power to activate these things within, to notice the signals that your body is giving you, to take a deep breath, right? If you're able to get on a surface that's supporting you, notice how it's holding you up, right? And then reminding yourself, right? I don't have to carry it all. This surface is supporting me. I can breathe deeply. I can invite in gentle movement, right? This is for you. And so if you're here live, let me know how that felt. Again, these are beginner friendly, and it can feel like very simple. And I have found on my own healing journey, that's usually the key to healing, right? The things that feel simple, that feel accessible, that are low cost, free, right? Deep breaths. These are the things that really lead to the deeper healing that we can experience. Okay, so let's get into another practice, movement. So inviting in movement, taking in deep breath, inhaling here, exhaling, inhaling here, exhaling. Pisces Pret, thank you. Help to release shoulder tension. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yes, I am someone who, as well, I carry tension all up and through my shoulders. And so even being able to realize, oh, if I feel tension, I can move through it. I don't just have to let it stay, right? No, you can invite in movement, breath, and it can be gentle. I think so often we are taught that it has to be difficult, it has to be hard, it has to push our bodies in order for it to be effective, right? And that's just not true. Your body actually responds better when it comes to healing, right? To gentle movement, to gentle changes, right? To the way that you speak to yourself, being gentle. You're able to really like let things resonate when you take a different tone. And again, this is revolutionary, right? Because we see the messages, we see how people often speak to us and about us as Black women. We're changing the internal narrative, right? I don't care how you're speaking about me. I'm going to speak to myself gently. I'm I'm going to give myself compassion. I'm going to give myself room to breathe, however it feels good to me. Hello, Simply Jewel TV. Thank you for joining. Hello, and yes, feels great. Okay, thank you for this. Thank you. Okay, so movement, right? So now if it feels okay, we can start to move a little bit as another practice. Maybe again, rolling your shoulders. If you notice that you carry tension in your shoulders, and you'll notice in both of these exercises, I've said if you notice, you carry, right? If you notice tension. The first part to a lot of these things is noticing. So it's noticing. It's bringing your awareness to your body throughout the day. How am I feeling? Where am I carrying tension? How did that make me feel? Right? Am I experiencing burning right here? Right? If I'm still navigating a toxic environment, can I invite in breath? Right? Can I ground myself? And so with the movement practice, rolling your shoulders, if you carry tension there, maybe stretching your arms up, letting them fall, sighing out. If you've been carrying tension, the weight of the things that we are experiencing collectively, right? The voice is very powerful to let out an audible sigh. So again, stretching your arms overhead, letting them fall. Maybe swaying side to side. Just enough to notice your breath, right? And how as you sway, notice how your breath is moving through your body. You can even shake out your hands, right? Just like you're letting maybe the weight, the tension of the week go as we enter a new week. Whatever feels good, right? And again, there's no right way to do this. It's what feels good to your body, and everybody is different. So inviting in gentle movement here, right? Rocking, swaying, and noticing how your breath is moving through your body as you do these things. And knowing that you don't need to look calm, it doesn't need to be perfect. There is no right way. This is just about feeling your own rhythm again. Bringing in movement to your body. Often we have to be very rigid as a survival mechanism within these environments. And so anytime that you can invite in movement to your body, know that you are resisting, right? With something that feels joyful. So something else I'll be talking about, right? Healing doesn't have to be hard. If you notice this is healing, hopefully this is healing, and this is a joyful movement practice, right? This is a joyful grounding practice. So this is where this real sense of calm can come from. When your body starts to remember that it doesn't have to brace for impact all the time. When you have space for yourself in a place that feels like you can exhale, right? Or creating one internally, that's when you start to signal to your body, right? I can breathe. I can relax. I can unfurl. I can take the mask off. And it doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be rigid. It can be gentle. It can be breathing. It can be grounding. Gentle movement. All of these things signal to your body, right? That's okay. Right? I can feel safe. I can give myself permission to move, to breathe, to do things that bring me joy. Hey, Drell's Healing Garden Journey. Good to see you. Hi, everyone. Marissa in chat. Great to be here with you all at this very moment. Yes, thank you for being here. Okay. And so those were a couple simple grounding practices, grounding, movement. We also did a body scan. So just these simple practices that we walk through together as a simple Sunday reset as we prepare to enter a new week. These are the things that help your body feel safe again, right? That help you feel at home within your sacred vessel, right? That we have been taught so often that it's unimportant, right? That it's disconnected when we're literally in our bodies every single day. And so the more that you can implement these things as a practice, knowing that it does not have to be hard, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be difficult. It can be gentle, right? You can take a deep breath. And I just invite you to ask yourself, just sit with this question, what feels different now versus when we first started, before we started? What feels different? Does your body feel different? Do you feel more clear? That's how I feel, right? I feel like I can take a deep breath with what I have to do today. I have more space to process, right? Maybe your breath is deeper. Maybe your shoulders feel lighter. And this is what we're aiming for when it comes to feeling safe within our bodies, these small shifts over time. This is the source of our power, right? They tell your nervous system, I'm safe. I'm safe enough to rest, to breathe, to go at my pace. And know that you can start here anytime, right? Even if you have 1 minute during the day to take a deep breath, to do a body scan, maybe in your car, before bed. Again, there's no right way to do this. There's no perfect, right, practice. It's your practice. So give yourself permission to create whatever feels good to you. And so I want to thank you so much for joining me for this simple Sunday reset with a few simple tools that we just covered to help us feel safe again within our bodies. And this is also a process, right? So if you're still feeling this sense of maybe anxiety, chest tightness, right? If you just started this practice, know that it's over time, right? The more that you do this and implement this into your day, the easier it's going to feel and the more relief you're going to feel after you do it, just like anything else, right? You're building this sense over time. I think, especially in the culture that we're living in, right? A lot of things are presented to us. If you don't get the results after one time that you do it, it's not working, right? There are so many things working behind the scenes as we're telling ourselves that it's okay for our bodies to be safe, even if you can't see it right now, right? So know that nothing's wrong with you. It's a practice over time of signaling to your body that you're safe, that you can breathe, that you can rest, right? And we also cannot overlook centuries that this has been told to us, right, as something that's off limits to us. And so it may be uncomfortable, it may be feel a little awkward, you may feel like you're not doing it right. But if you incorporate this as a practice over time into your daily routine, or whenever you notice that you're feeling tension, you're feeling chest tightness, right? Maybe insomnia, all these different physical symptoms that we feel, we have all of these healing tools that exist within us, right, to reawaken. And so that's what I really wanted to share today. So again, oh yes, thank you. Yes, love it, especially in a room with like minds, right? Have a good day. Yes, you too. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I will be facilitating a healing circle coming up today, 5 p.m. Eastern. I do have a banner. Let me get my banners up. Finding Calm in Chaos, if you'd like to join us over there. I also have a nervous system regulation guide called 5 Gentle Steps to Regulate Your Nervous System and Reclaim Your Calm. So let me link that in the chat too. Put that up here. And also, I'm now a certified facilitator this month. So for facilitation requests for your organization, you can always reach out to me, hello@marissaprice.me. Yeah, I'm a healing practitioner, facilitator, trauma-informed facilitator, which is so important, right? Knowing that we have to move at our own pace. If we are people who have experienced a lot of trauma, it's not going to be something that's going to be overnight, right? You have to create the environment where people feel safe to incorporate some of these things, right, into our daily routines. And so I want to thank you so much for being here. Again, this was lovely. I think this is the first time I've been live on Sunday. I may try this again, maybe next week, maybe the week after. But I thank you so much for being here, for participating, and know that you can come back to this video at any time to regulate, to find a sense of calm with the practices that we covered today, right? So I appreciate you all, and until next time, bye y'all. Thank you.